All right, traders, good afternoon. Welcome to our live trading room with TD Academy. It's good to be with you guys here. If you're here for the very first time, a warm welcome to you, to the lovely Tandi there. Good afternoon. Jules, I see you as well. Pinyana, I see you. Jace, I see you as well. A warm welcome to you. Before we get started, guys, let's make sure that we get our disclaimer, out there. The information we will be chatting about, you guys' opinion, and should not be construed as advice in any way. All right, so let's get cracking here, guys. We got some revision to do here. We have a couple of instruments to watch. And obviously, what we're doing here today is we're looking at all of the assets that might just be pushing for or in a specific direction when it comes to the NFP, which is due tomorrow. And we've been looking at a few that is setting up, and we're not expecting lots of movement today. All right, we're not expecting a lot of movement today, simply because we know that tomorrow we are bound to see something over there. All right. The gold shorter, easy. All right, yeah, again. All right, yeah. So okay, so guys, what's important for us now to quickly get out of the way is to do a bit of that revision now. I'm not going to go in all of the detail that we went into when we were at our midday, which was at 12, because obviously we've covered a few. You can always log on to our YouTube channel later on and check it out. But here are a few of the important assets to watch. And then I want to share something on timeframes with you guys for this session at least. It's going to assist you, I think, greatly, especially if you're looking to trade, whether you want to scalp, whether you want to do intraday trading or swing it. It's really going to help you quite a bit here, okay? So let's start it off here with the oil price. We know that at 15:30, that's about 27 minutes away, we got the US Open. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over there. And, we're very, very, very excited to see how the NFP really, really pushes tomorrow. All right, I see Teado's here as well. Gaywan, Lynette, Shira, Teado. There we go. All right, so the guys are on. All right, so let's get moving here, guys. Let's get moving and see, and let's see what is cracking here. All right, so here's the oil price. Now, we've been chatting about the oil price this entire day. We said there is definitely movement. I explained the interest rates, the inflation, and how there are assets that's not moving 100% in terms of correlation. There is a mismatch. We're seeing gold moving more with the oil price, and that's because of the inflation fears, how investors treat inflation, where they move from one asset to the other, considering the safe haven status or conditions. And oil, obviously, then, guys, is the barometer that we're using here to give us some form of indication whether the dollar is strengthening or it's weakening. Now, we saw yesterday during the London session here, and you can see I have it on, that we saw the high created, and you can see the overlap has now come between London and New York. It's pre-US Open, and that's why the trading session has come online now, New York, all right? And we're seeing that there is another high that is forming now. It's exactly where I placed the blue line, $80 a barrel. That was yesterday's high. Now, going back to the conversation at midday, should we get a push to the upside? If you guys remember well, there were three scenarios that I'd mentioned to you guys. The first scenario is exactly the one that is playing out as we speak, that if we get a high, there is a higher high. That simply means that there is structural development that has taken place. All right? That means that there's a new higher high, and it's showing us that price is ascending. Now, what happens in this specific case is when the oil price goes up, we see the gold come down. Now, what can happen today still? if the oil price breaks and closes above $80 a barrel, and let's say it creates the higher high there, all right? What can happen tomorrow, guys, or even later tonight? Price can come down again, all right? And with price coming down again, it means all the gains that you would have found on the gold price, as you can see right now, it's happening right before your eyes, all right? 4195 is what we spoke about. This was the 38.2 level on the fib that we had a great chat about. Now, as it's panning out right now, it's already past these two lows. It's past actually these four. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's already broken below, basically. All right. It just needs to close with commitment. Now, it's already coming down here, and that is as a result of the oil that's also pushing up. Look, we're creating the higher high. Look at that. There we go. There's the higher high. So scenario one is literally playing out here, guys. Well before us, right here, right here. It is literally panning out right here before us. Now, what can happen later tonight after the higher high? It's already a higher high here, okay? It can come down, and all the gains that we found, all right, can be erased. When I say erased, and when I say gains, guys, I'm referring to your sell gains, okay? If price is coming down and you're selling, those are gains, all right, profit gains. Now, as price comes down, and let's say the oil price then corrects, it means the gold then can, from that area, can start to push up. That will cause confusion. This move down will cause confusion because now the guys will say, listen, I bought the oil, so I sold gold. And then price comes down, and then they say, no, hold on. I'm going to buy gold now because the oil price is coming down. Now you have buyers and sellers. There's both directions. They're all putting stop losses, all right, both sides. To add on to that, pending orders are being put in place now. There are buy stops, sell stops, buy limits, sell limits, all pendings around this area. It's like sharks coming because there's blood, all right. Then tomorrow, NFP data comes, all right, and obviously we're going to start seeing movement now in this specific area. And wherever you are, if you're in the right direction, obviously you're going to be gaining. That is why myself and T always wait for the data. We don't trade before the NFP, all right? We wait for the data to be released, and then we wait for the dust to settle before we take the direction. Because what can even happen here now is the oil has now created a higher high. Believe me when I tell you, right now, the guys are putting in their orders, and they're going to leave it overnight, and anything can happen overnight. Whenever it's NFP, the week is erratic. Anything can happen. So it can come down later tonight and then tomorrow morning, because remember, the NFP is after 2. So during the morning London session, we can find oil back here. Exactly at that place here. That's very important. So please be very careful with your trades now. Be very careful with your trades, all right? All right, students. So the oil price right now is in I'm going to put it like this. The oil price is giving us a stronger dollar at this point. We're seeing the dollar. Look at this. There's that silver. I spoke to you guys about the silver. In actual fact, let me take this off quickly. Let me just take this off. You guys remember I spoke to you about that 38-point level, right? Look at that. Who remembers this? This we spoke about midday. Is everybody with me here? Let me see here. Jace, Pasture, wonderful. I think the guys gave you a congrats right there. Beautiful. Very proud there, Jace. Very proud, man. All right. Well done. Watch out for the links. It's coming. All right. And then I see the like count. Yes, guys. Teedo said it there. The like count is very low. Teedo's right. Let's get the likes up there, guys. Quickly. Teedo, thank you Thank you very much. It's very low. It's very low. All right. So you guys remember this one. Here it is right here. The 38-point area on the fib. Spot on right there, pushing right now. Look at that, people. Look at that. Remember, Teedo, you asked me a question which was very important. You asked, Ash, why the 38 and not the 61? Do you see why the 38 is more probable now? And I know you understand it, and I know you definitely get it. it's just good that we always rewind, because there might be someone here that may hear what we're speaking about but wasn't in the session, and they now have the opportunity to get access to what we had mentioned. Look at that 38 level. That's over 100 pips that they're getting now. Whoever heard what we spoke about earlier on, and they listened to the gems that we had chatted about, guys. The 38 level, look, where's the 61? What is our aim here, guys? What is our aim? Our aim as traders is to get the most probable scenario. All right, everyone. And let me be frank with you, to all the Messi fans, all the Cristiano Ronaldo fans, to all the Floyd Mayweather fans, and all the guys, to Drickus with the UFC, all the guys. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie, né? Guys, listen to this. Listen to this. All right. They train to find the most probable way to score, to get a technical knockout or a knockout. Whatever the case is, even if it's cricket, doesn't matter, guys. Even if it's in the court of law. Are we together? The most probable outcome is what they are looking for. Is everybody clear with that, guys? The likes are still very low. All right. Yes, we have. Gaywan, I agree with you. I agree with you. We have been looking for the shorts. Intel's a Bafana fan. All right. I'm also Bafana. All right. So Bafana, they were looking for the most probable place. So it's important that we have the same behavior, because that's what champions do. Guys, there are certain champions that can go for 12 rounds. Is everybody clear there, guys? In boxing. Then there's certain champions that get you out there very quickly. Mike Tyson was one of them. 13 seconds and you were knocked out. That's in the first round. That is the kind of most probable. So that uppercut that he threw was the most probable outcome he used to get you out there quickly. You'd still be finding parking, and then the match is over. So the point is, what you're trying to do every day is get the most probable outcome. This is the most probable outcome to the 38 versus the 61. Now, depending on what asset you trade is the distance you're going to find. There's 120 pips. But on the FX pair, it might have been 12 pips. Do you guys see that? So it all depends what you are trading as well. That's what our Zoom classes are for. That's going to help you distinguish the difference, all right? So the silver is reacting to this oil price as well as the gold. There we go. Now, let's go and look if the FX pairs are also strengthening here now. That's important, all right? I see Gaywan there, 4 rounds of 200 pips, and exactly, right? So let's see if the FX pairs are also reacting with the oil price, okay? So here's the first one. So AUD USD is. You guys remember why AUD? Because AUD is a commodity-driven currency. Are we together? That's why we see the AUD reacting with gold. Let's look at NZD USD. Now, you see, this is where it gets interesting, because the NZD is not reacting as clearly as the AUD. This is exactly what I chatted to you guys about earlier on at 12 o'clock. Is that just because the gold, the silver, the oil, and the AUD USD is going down, does not mean the NZD USD is going down yet. We are still really consolidating over here, guys. There is no breakout yet for all the breakout traders here. There's no breakout yet. It's consolidating. If you're a scalper, obviously you're going to be trading this structure over here, and you may possibly push it, sell it from that area to that area, which is about 16 pips. All right. Now, if you put a standard lot on 16 pips, remember the pip value, if you're using a 0.01, your pip value there is 10 cents. If you're using 0.10, your pip value or per point is $1. If you are using one standard lot, your pip movement per value is $10. So if you're going to be trading one standard lot in this specific context here, that's about $160 US, more or less what you can make if you are scalping. But if you're doing a bit of intraday trading now, which is obviously the more extended version, you're going to have to wait for a very nice breakout here. And when that breakout comes, the new low, there's obviously a pullback from there, and then you can choose to get in at the high or you can get in at that low. It all depends, and that's part of your strategy now. Teedo, remember that 38.2 comment you made earlier on? Now your entry becomes part of the strategy. Do you see how everything then moves together now? So your entry becomes part of your strategy. Do you see that? I think that's a very good place just to put that one in there. All right. So the AUD USD is reacting. The NZD USD is not reacting like that. The GBP USD is not reacting either. Look at that. Look at this. Look at that. Nothing, guys. It's not moving. Nothing. Let's look at the euro. Nothing. Look at that. It's basically still at the same place. It's probably moved now about maybe just under 30 pips possibly for today. Look, yeah, there we go, 23. Look at that. So it is as clear as daylight that today is a setup for tomorrow. Please, please, please make a note, guys. Whenever there's NFPs, when there's high impact fundamentals, setups are coming. It's no different from what Gaywin is saying there in the chat. It's no different from the examples. When champions go into a ring, onto a soccer field, there's a setup. There are plays. There's a playbook. So you got to become better at reading the plays. That's important. Now, remember I said in the beginning, I'm going to chat to you about time frames, because time frames helps you choose what playbook you would like, or what play in the book you would like to play out. All right. So let's quickly do a loop around all the ones that we're looking at for now. Oil, look at that. Up, reject. Created the higher high, rejection. Please pay attention to that. Okay. Silver, there's already a lot of selling that has already come in because of the oil price. The gold at this point in time looks like the moves want to finish. Even though oil has now retracted from the high, there's a lot of moving parts that's still happening right now within. So these moves, they may just finish up for today. All right. And then tomorrow, tomorrow morning, we could get a move to the upside. You guys have seen what the oil price has done. It's been gapping. And that's because of the Middle East tension. Now there's missiles, there's no missiles. Then there's agreement, then there's easing. So there's been a lot of gaps there. All right. The stock market is coming down technically here as well. Yes, we're going to find some fundamentals. We're going to find there was some good earnings. And that's the reason why we saw the extensions and so forth. But essentially, I think it was Gaywin that said something earlier on. Was it yesterday or the day before? What goes up must come down. That is very true. The only thing that I would not take away, I would actually just connect with what Gaywin is saying there, is the fact that when something goes up, at the right timing, it will come down. At the right timing, it will come down, all right? It's because it went up there, and then it extended, and then it extended again. So there were 3 extensions here, or at least 2 from there, 1, 2. There were 2 extensions, and now only it's starting to really push to a nice place over here. Please, in the back of your head there in the corner, just put there, Ash still needs to chat about time frames, okay? I'm not going to forget that. So here we see the stock market still coming down right here, all right? US 30, apart from this one is very stubborn, but like I said to you, this might just be a big move to the downside. So keep US 30 right there, all right, as a pause, okay? Then we have the S&P 500, okay? S&P 500 is moving similar to that of the NAS 100, okay? It has come down considerably, yes. We had a bit of a correction. It's now moving sideways. This is classic playbook setups. There's a lot of buyers here, lots of sellers. There's lots of buyers here. There's lots of sellers. It's going both ways, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Consolidation is packing in a lot of guys. Now, I'm going to be frank with you. There's guys that are very biased right now. They know that we need a drop. So they are packing in the cells. They packing in the cells. at this point, and they're putting stop losses. They're even going as far as to rip this impulse apart, and they're looking for a high somewhere here. And I can show it to you. They're taking this impulse and they're ripping it apart. Okay, I'm going to go to a lower time frame so you can see. They're ripping it apart on the shorter time frames to see if there's a high they can use here. So let's go and see if there's a high. There we go. There's a high right there. And they're packing stop losses here. Do you see that? Some is packing it right there. Some is using these highs over here. Some are using... There's just a lot of stations that's moving at this point in time. Now, why? Because they are of the view that their analysis, we're going to drop. Now, I'm not against that because I too see that we need a drop here at some point. Isn't it so? But we know, guys, that we have to still be careful and mindful that the price can do this. All right. Structurally, remember, price respects market structure. I think I'm going to say it in this way. Price respects the market structure. So even if price does this, all right, it's still a lower high. That means it's still in the structure. So where the price pushes up till there, till there, till there, till here, till there, it doesn't matter. It's still within the structure. Even if it does this a little bit higher, look at this. Look at the slant at the top. See the slant at the top? Even if it does that, it doesn't matter as long as it does not surpass the high there, because then it means that there's an extension. So it can literally come till there. It doesn't, as long as the slant is there, even here, it can literally do this. For as long as it does not push above that area over there, this is still a sell. Because that's what divergence is. Divergence, it looks like it's going up, but essentially it's coming down. And you can see, even if price does that, look, you see that? Even if price goes up till there, this area, it may be higher or it may look like it's going higher, but here it's still coming low. That's a very, very, very important. All right, very, very important. Now, all of these look exactly the same. Look at the USD JPY. Still in the same place. Classic playbook here. So when you see me and T go live tomorrow, please understand, guys, that tonight this can happen. That can happen, which is going to activate sellers. And then what if the job market is brilliant, even though we had some bad numbers with the JOLTS, we had some bad numbers with the ADP, we had a weaker dollar, it's at a 5th-week low. We may just get a good dollar tomorrow, guys. A breather in the market, because the market needs to breathe. If price has to come down like this, there has to be poor results, obviously, but then the intervention from the JAPS is also something that we need to consider there. So it's important to understand that this could happen, ladies and gentlemen. It could. We're looking for the most probable outcome. Right now, the probability exists. All right? 2 scenarios. Either we're pushing down like this, and then if it's a stronger dollar, we do that. There's another scenario that exists that we could even break this area here today. All right? And then tomorrow we have this. And then when the NFP comes at 2 o'clock, we have that. If it's a stronger dollar. Remember, we are saying this based on the notion that the oil price has now given us a higher high. That's what so what we would need is, for us to have commitment, we need some candles to be closing above this high here. There's a rejection right there. Yes, it's created a high, but that's a rejected high. So if we have no candle bodies closing above this area, there's no commitment. That means this USD JPY could be pushing down if there's no commitment. All right? But again, let me lay it on you. The commitment may not even come today. What if the commitment comes tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock? 6 a.m. we get a commitment. Do you know how that's going to upset a lot of guys? because some guys have gotten in at this rejection already. They're going to be watching the price now for the rest of the day. Let's just say all candles they reject and they come this way. The sells are packed here. And then tomorrow, boom. So these exist. These scenarios exist. Right now, to be fair, there is a break here, but there is no commitment traders. So be very, very careful, all right? NZD-JPY still doing exactly the same. The USD CAD is now, look at this one here, look at that. It went all the way up, beautiful, comes down, finds support, breaks past this area. That's a break of structure there. It just took that out. Now, if it commits to the upside and it goes up here, that already activates more buyers. How crazy is that? It goes up, it breaks through nicely, big pullback, big, very, very big, but does not push past that area, rejects right there again, and we're pushing back up. So you can see that across the board, there are many plays all at once, all right? You look at Euro JPY. Nobody can say that there is no setup here. Look at the state of these candles. Look at this. Small, man. They're extremely small, guys. Look at that. Look at CAD JPY. Small candles. GBP Yen. All small candles here. There is a big breakout or big move coming here. All right. AUD JPY. Sure, this one might just be a great metric for us. If it continues to go to the downside like that, that may give us some info. But we'll see at 9:30 how that one actually plays out. All right. All right. Then we have some of the swingers now. We were looking at the UK 100 as well. We said 10,000 or 10,777. You can see it's not really moved much over there. It's not really moved much there. All right. There's something that I was looking at just now. Was it Euro CHF? No, it was not. GBP CAD. I was looking at something just now. Can't remember which one it was. Hold on, guys. Let me just see if I can find. What was I looking at? It wasn't a US. That one hasn't done anything yet. I was looking at something earlier on. Euro NZ. Was it? Okay, it was this one. All right, so let me chat to you guys about the time frames. You can see there's nothing at this point right now that is giving us an indication that we're going to be getting into trades now. Okay, so I want you to quickly make some notes here, guys, because this is going to help you a great deal. Are you guys ready? Quickly, guys, are you guys ready? Quickly in the chat facility, guys, let's get those likes up. There's only 17 likes there. Let's get some more in there. All right, quickly, guys, quickly. Are you guys ready? I want you to make some notes here. It's going to help you a great deal. Let me just put a different asset on here quickly as well. Let me put Euro AUD just for the sake of, okay. Make some notes. All right. Now, whether you scalping or doing intraday trades, this is going to help you. All right. Write this down. You have a higher time frame that gives you a bit of direction. All right. And I'm going to give you the parallel time frame that can assist you to make some informed decisions. Okay. When you look at the daily frame, this is connecting impulse with structure. Please make a note of that. It's impulse, all right, on structure, all right? Impulse with structure. Whenever you see an impulse here, all right, remember the opposite of an impulse is a pullback. And after a pullback, we have an impulse again. Is everybody with me here, guys? Let me just make sure everybody's tracking here with me. All right. Whenever you see impulse, pullback. After the impulse, there's an impulse, there's a pullback. After the pullback, you're going to get another impulse. All right. Now, what you do with that is the following. All right. When there's an impulse, you would possibly like to trade the pullback. When the pullback is done, you'd possibly like to trade the impulse. Now, the direction or the directive time frames, this is how you can connect the impulse. So let's say daily. So daily, you can see over here, this area, right? You guys can see this? The zone here. Now, one needs to look at a connecting time frame to the daily. So I want you to write down for me, when you're looking at the daily and you see a finished impulse, all right, you can connect it with the 1 hour chart. So I'll show it to you. So let's say right here. And if I go to an hour frame, this is the structure that you are now working within. This entire impulse here, there. If you switch to the hour, that's the structure, because many guys don't always know how to connect which structure are we actually working with. If I went to the daily, there's some guys that's going to do this. They're going to say we're working with this structure. And that's valid. Because if price breaks that area there, it's most likely going to start pushing up. That is valid. But that daily is connected to a monthly. All right? So what we do is we rather connect the impulse with a lower structure so that you can capitalize on that on a daily basis. So please make a note of that. So the daily, you can couple that with the hour. All right, you couple that with the hour. This is the structure that you're actually dealing with right now. All right, so if you were to, example, do this. Now you know inside of this structure, there's two ways that we could be going here. It's either we're pushing up, all right, or, hold on, wrong. Or we're pushing a little bit down here. Are you with me there, guys? Now you can always look for divergence here, because divergence is going to help you understand it. So if I go in and I look for divergence within that structure, can you guys see how this area here, you see that there? And you see this here? Can you guys see that? Can you see the divergence on this side here? So at this point in time, right here, right now, if price has to push up, you can see it will still be part of somewhat of a bearish structure. Is everybody clear there, guys? Very important. Very important. So that's daily with the 1 hour. Now watch this now. Let's go to the next one. H4 hourly. All right, H4. Can you guys see that? And some guys are going to look for the, they're going to be looking for some intraday movements. Now, can you guys see this impulse right here from a 4-hour perspective? Now, if I switch to a 15-minute, that's the structure that you're actually dealing with. So here we have a support that has now come in. So you may not necessarily TP over there, but you may possibly TP over here. Are we together? From there to there, that's about 42 pips. So you couple 4-hour with 15-minute. 4-hour impulse to the upside. If we extend, you have a trade. Do you guys see that? Is everybody with me there, guys? So 4-hour impulse, 15-minute structure inside. So if I do exactly the same, and I go to show a bit of divergence here, I'm seeing divergence. Look at this. So there's divergence here. Can you guys see that? So before we push up, there may be some pushing that's coming down here. This is all intraday trading, guys. This is all intraday trading. All right, H4, 15 minute. You can connect those two over there. Then you have, please make a note, 1 hour. You see that? 1 hour, and you couple that with 5 minutes. Please make a note of that. 1 hour, and then you can couple that with 5 minutes. That's the structure that you're looking at there, 5 minutes. So if you go to the 4 hour, all right, and you go to the 15 minute, you'll find that on the 15 minute, this might have been your TP as an example, right? But on the 5 minute, this becomes a TP. So from there to there is 12 pips or 13 pips. Do you guys see that? So on a 4 hour, 15 minute structure, this might have been your TP. But on a 1 hour and the 5 minutes, that becomes a TP now. That's important information. Then we can go even further down. I would say 15 minute. All right. Remember, we're working with the most current impulse here. And the 1 minute. You guys see that? So we are connecting the impulse. There's a lot of divergence here. Look at that. So price still seems to be coming down. So which means now, if this is the impulse that we currently have and there's divergence, there's a high probability if price breaks through this entire area here. Do you guys see how you can start capitalizing now? Are you guys with me there? Are you guys with me? So the 1 minute has an entire consolidated zone. If we break out of that area there, we're working with this structure here. This is the area that is exposing the weakness in this area. I'll say that again. This zone is exposing the weakness here. So there's definitely divergence here. This is showing us that the structure could be broken, and if it is, it's a couple of pips. But again, it's all intraday movement here, guys. It's all intraday movement. So the 15 minutes gets coupled with the 1 minute. Now, that's what I did with the Euro CAD. That's what I did with the Euro CAD. All right. Let me show you here. So with the Euro CAD, there's my entry. First TP there, second TP. Lots of divergence. This exposed that area there. The moment price came up, 1 minute frame, from there to there. That was a 19 pip run, anticipating price to push from there to there. And I first looked at a 15-minute structure. And then I dropped down to a 1 minute. And I found it sitting at a support to come up. Now, this gets repeated every single day, guys. All right, if I do an hour here, can you guys see that? If I do, or 4 hour, this structure, this impulse here, 4 hour, remember, is with the 15 minute, right? So this area here is revealing what's happening here. I'll say it again. This impulse is revealing the left side here. So if I were to put on any divergence now, it's going to show me that, listen, there is a high probability, because price, that was the divergence, it already came down. There's divergence at the bottom. Look at that. But here, we're coming down. Do you see that? So which means this entire area here, let me just block it out for you. This entire area, this is what we're possibly looking at. So there, and we are looking for price to possibly go up now. This area is exposing this area here. So you're connecting the most current movement to see what has been happening over there. Is that understood, guys? Is everybody clear on that one? The 4 hour there, here, has exposed this area. High, look at that high there. Look at that high there. It's higher than that area. So this will help you create or at least see some setups. If we go to the 1 hour, all right, and I do the most recent, and then I switch to the 5 minute. Do you see how this area compared to this area is different? So that's the 15 minute that's connected to the 4 hour. See, 4 hour, right? It's connected to the 4 hour, but the 5 minute is lower. So this is still a possible trade here. It's just lower. So the higher you go, the more distance. All right, let me see if there's any divergence here, because if there's divergence here, then it means the 15 minute is looking good. Yep, here's the divergence. Look, here it's coming down, but here it's going up. So the probability exists we first going up to that area there. You guys see that? So what I just showed you now is the right side will always expose the left side. There's times when the probability to come down is much higher. Please note that, guys. There's times when the probability doesn't exist to go up, but to come down. So whenever you look at the most recent impulse, it will show you the setup on the left-hand side. I think that's a very important point. And I want you to remember that, especially when we're dealing with the NFP tomorrow. Okay? That's exactly what I did here. All right? It's exactly what I did here. There's no difference. That's the reason why I have this to possibly go down now, because this impulse here revealed what was happening on this side over here. This had to come from somewhere, and it has to go somewhere as well. That's what's been happening to NAS. That's what's been happening to the US30, etc. This side, or the most recent impulse, will always expose what is happening on the left. So please make sure you know that daily is connected to the hour, 4 hour is connected to the 15 minute, 1 hour to the 5, 15 minutes to the 1. When I say connected, I'm saying that the impulse on the daily, the most recent impulse on the daily, will expose the structure on the 1 hour. The most recent impulse on the 4 hour will expose the structure on the 15 minute. So the structure is what you're trading. Don't forget that. Uptrend structure. Do you see that? I'll do it again. One more time. Daily, the most recent impulse, 1 hour, that's the structure that we're dealing with there. That is the important point. That's the important point. Now, if you do this, let's say it goes to 1.6, 1.65019. Now watch this. Do the same thing. 1 hour, that's the most recent impulse there. But on a 5 minute, do you see how price, that's where it initially fell. It initially fell there. So there's a high probability we first going to 1.64. Now imagine you go to the 15 minute. All right. Most recent. That's 15 minutes. Then you go to the 1 hour, or not 1 hour, 1 minute. But do you see how, even although the hour is giving us a bullish sign, the daily is giving us some movement to the upside here, the 1 minute is first showing a correction, or it coming down first. Did you guys see that? So the daily, all right, up, hour up, but the 1 minute is showing us, wait, before we go up, looks like we're first coming down. You see that? So structurally, do you see structurally? That's where I got it from. This is the structure on the 1 minute. You can't ignore that. So before we push to the upside, we might be coming down. Look at the 1 hour. We first come down, as an example. Let's say we come down like this, and then possibly we go up. So now you are able to not only capitalize on one trade, you can two, you can even do 3 trades. But this is the current structure that's at play now, right here. This is the current one. Even though all of this has happened, we are trading the fragment of that. That's critical. That is critical. We're trading the fragments, all right, of what has happened over here. Now, let's just say price breaks from there and it breaks out. Now you know that the 1 hour is in play. The 1 hour direction is in play. So I'm going to leave this one on for now, just like this. When we revisit at 6, we'll see how far it went. Did we go down first or did we go up? Because this is the 15-minute direction, that's the 1 hour direction, that's the daily direction. We'll see which one plays out. Is it 15-minute, 1 hour, or daily? We're going to see which one plays out. All right. But I'll see you guys at 6. There's no proper movement as yet, guys. We are waiting for the NFP. I'll do one more round quickly just to see the oil price. Still at the same place. Look at silver now. See that? Retreat on the oil, and there it goes up. Gold should have retreated as well. Yep, it did. Look at that. AUD USD should have retreated. Yes. And these ones have done nothing. Actually, it's gone up a little bit now. Look at that. So there's nothing major, guys. There's nothing major right now. All right. So I'll see you guys at 6. I'll see you guys at 6. Make sure you're here. We're back at 6. All right. To everybody that joined us for the first time here, really, really good to have you guys on. And for all the regular students here, well done. All right. We'll definitely link up at 6 again. All right. All right, everybody. Bye, dankie. Ciao, ciao.